Before the first notification appears, before the schedule begins making demands, before the headlines, the journey, and the responsibilities compete for your attention, pause here. Let your hands be still. Release the tension in your shoulders. Breathe in slowly and breathe out slowly. You do not yet know everything this day will bring. Some circumstances may remain uncertain. Some questions may not be answered today. But this moment can be surrendered. This moment can belong to God. The first spiritual decision of the morning is not how you will control the day. It is where you will place your heart before the day unfolds. Your heart will dwell somewhere. It will settle beneath some voice, lean upon some promise, or submit to some pressure. And whatever receives your first trust will influence your later reactions. If urgency governs the beginning, urgency may shape every response. If fear speaks first, it may try to interpret everything that follows. But before the day tells your heart how to react, you can choose where your heart will dwell. So ask yourself gently, what reached my mind first this morning? What fear is already speaking? What voice will govern my next response? Do not rush past those questions. We are not pretending the pressure is absent. We are preparing to meet it differently. Together, we will move through Psalm 91. We will receive God as refuge. We will name fear honestly. We will pray for His covering without treating prayer as denial or escape. And we will prepare to act with calm, prayerful wisdom. For now, remain here. Before you place your mind inside the day's demands, place your heart in God's presence. Then listen to the opening posture of Psalm 91, the one who dwells. The one who dwells in the shelter of the Most High will abide under the shadow of the Almighty. Psalm 91 begins there, not with frantic escape, not with a desperate attempt to secure every outcome. It begins with nearness, with someone who remains. To dwell is more than to visit God for a moment. It is to stay dependent upon Him, to return when attention wanders, and to let His presence become the settled address of the heart. We do not offer a hurried prayer and then carry everything alone. We do not speak sacred words while quietly returning to self-reliance. We remain. We return. We remember whose care surrounds us. The shelter of the Most High is not limited to a quiet room. His presence is near when you sit at the desk, when you travel along the road, when you attend to the needs within your home, and when you stand at the threshold of a difficult conversation. The shadow of the Almighty speaks of closeness. A shadow is not cast from a great distance. This image invites you to recognize that God is not remote from the place where courage will be required. So let Psalm 91 establish the order of this morning. Presence before pressure, trust before reaction, God first rather than fear first. Say inwardly, slowly, this morning begins under God's authority and care. I belong near Him. I will remain with Him as I enter this day. You may still feel tension. Your mind may still move toward what must be handled. Dwelling does not mean ignoring responsibility. It means responsibility no longer has to be carried as though God were absent. And as you receive this nearness, another question comes into view. Is God only someone you call a refuge, or is He becoming the first place you actually turn? A refuge is shelter when you feel exposed, safety when uncertainty presses close, protection when you know you cannot hold everything together by yourself. It is also a place where distress can be brought without disguise. You do not have to arrive composed. You do not have to hide the trembling thought or soften the burden before placing it before God. But calling God your refuge and turning to Him as refuge are not always the same. The difference appears in the order of dependence. When pressure rises, does prayer become your first response, or only the measure you reach for after every other answer has failed? Where does your mind run first? What possibility does your heart rehearse again and again? Whose guidance do you seek before panic begins making decisions for you? Do you immediately attempt to predict, manage, and secure everything? Or do you first become still enough to say, Lord, I need you here. Show me how to meet this with you. This is not a rejection of practical resources. You may have plans, information, savings, trusted contacts, and years of experience. Receive them with gratitude. Use them with wisdom, but do not ask them to provide the deepest security they were never meant to give. When dependence is rightly ordered, resources become servants rather than masters. They can support faithful action without becoming the foundation of your peace. So let there be an honest admission this morning. Perhaps anxiety has been directing your attention before prayer. Perhaps control has felt safer than trust. Perhaps you have remembered God, but only after fear has already formed the story. There is no need to perform certainty here. Simply notice the reflex. Bring it into the light of God's nearness. Then look beneath it, because every hurried attempt to secure yourself is often guarding a more specific fear. What exactly are you afraid may happen today? Hold that fear before God now. Do not name it vaguely. We are about to bring that very burden into His presence. Perhaps the burden has already shown you its name. Believers can wake with anxiety. Faith does not make us strangers to worry, stress, or the longing for peace and rest. You may be concerned about work, a change in your health, the safety of a journey, the needs of your family, an uncertain event, or a decision for which no clear answer has appeared. Move slowly enough to recognize what is actually troubling you. Is it an outcome you cannot control? Is it a conversation you have been avoiding? Is it the vulnerability you feel about going somewhere? Are you carrying concern for someone you love, wishing you could protect them from what you cannot resolve? Do not condemn yourself for finding fear here. Experiencing fear is not the same as giving fear authority. Honesty does not enthrone anxiety. It brings anxiety out of concealment. What remains unnamed can quietly influence your expectations, sharpen your reactions, and urge you toward choices made only to escape discomfort. But what is named before God can begin to be entrusted to Him. So complete this sentence silently. Lord, what I am carrying this morning is... You do not need to say it publicly. You do not need to make it sound spiritual. Let the words be plain. Perhaps you can name the feared outcome. Perhaps all you can name is the pressure, the confusion, or the ache beneath it. Take a quiet moment. Let your prayer respond to the burden that is truly present, not merely to fear as a general idea. Now hold what you have named before God. You may not understand it fully. You may not know what will happen or how the answer will come. Still, the fear brought honestly into His presence no longer has to direct the day from hiding. God's refuge is large enough for the burden you can describe and the uncertainty you cannot yet explain. And because we desire safety, we must now understand carefully what His covering means when the outcome remains unknown. Psalm 91 gives us images of shelter, wings, and protection. These are not invitations to escape reality. They reveal the attentive presence, sovereign authority, and faithful care of God. To come beneath His covering is to entrust yourself to the One who sees what you cannot see and remains near when you do not know what will happen next. But prayer is not a formula for controlling every outcome. Faith does not require you to pretend that danger is impossible, pain cannot come, or uncertainty has disappeared. We can pray boldly, without bargaining with God. We can trust deeply, without claiming promises He has not made. Presumption demands a particular result. Trust receives God's care while remaining humble about how the day may unfold. Being covered means you do not enter uncertainty abandoned. You are not unseen. You are not left to face every possibility in your own strength. The circumstances may still ask courage from you, but terror does not have to govern your response. Fear may knock, but it does not receive permission to command the heart. And this covering does not create a choice between faith and responsibility. Prayer and wise precaution can belong together. Trust and preparation can belong together. Seeking counsel, paying attention, and taking sensible measures do not deny God's protection. They may become part of the wisdom through which you walk beneath His care. We do not prove faith by refusing help, ignoring warning, or remaining passive. We express faith by listening for God's direction and responding without panic. So release the demand to know that everything will follow your preferred plan. Calm is not certainty about circumstances. Calm is grounded confidence that God will be present within them. It is the quiet strength to face what is true, receive what is given, and remain responsible for what is yours to do. The question is no longer, how can I secure the outcome I want? Let the better question rise. Lord, what faithful action are you asking of me now? For when the heart is covered without pretending, it becomes ready to discern the next step. Refuge is not retreat from responsibility. It is the settled place from which responsibility can be faced without panic. When the heart rests in God, it does not become careless or inactive. It becomes available to wisdom. Fear is no longer permitted to make every choice, assign urgency to every concern, or turn every uncertainty into a crisis. So when a decision stands before you, practice this simple order. Pause, pray, listen, and examine what is actually known. If understanding is limited, ask for counsel. If more information is needed, gather it. Then take the next faithful step. Not every possible step. Not the step that promises total control, but the step that belongs to you now. This may mean checking what is necessary before a journey and then leaving without rehearsing disaster. It may mean reading a tense message again before answering, allowing your words to be truthful without becoming reactive. It may mean entering a work conversation prepared to listen as well as speak. It may mean caring for a family need while accepting that you cannot carry every person's future. And sometimes, wisdom will mean postponing a decision because clarity has not yet come. Waiting can be faithful when it is attentive, not avoidant. Notice the difference. Fear rushes, wisdom can be patient. Fear magnifies possibilities, wisdom attends to reality. Fear hides from necessary engagement or tries to dominate every outcome. Wisdom accepts appropriate responsibility and honors proper limits. Calm does not mean doing nothing. It creates enough inward room to recognize duties, boundaries, warnings, counsel, and opportunities that panic would blur. Ask yourself now, what truly requires action today? What can wait? What precaution would be wise? Where do I need help? What burden am I trying to control that must instead be entrusted to God? Return to the fear you named earlier. Hold it honestly before the Lord. Then place beside it one concrete action you can take in faith. Make it realistic. Make it responsible. Perhaps it is a call, a preparation, a conversation, a request for guidance, or a deliberate pause. Keep both before God. The fear you are surrendering and the step you are willing to take. In a moment, we will bring them into a shared confession, asking that trust speak before fear and that this next action be governed by peace. Now let us move from understanding to confession. Speak these words slowly. Speak them sincerely. You do not have to sound fearless, and you do not have to pretend that you feel stronger than you do. Courage begins by telling the truth in the presence of God. Say this with me. God is my refuge. He is my shelter and my safe place in distress. I belong in His presence, and I am not abandoned in what I face. Lord, I bring you the fear I named this morning. I bring you the outcome I cannot control, the uncertainty I cannot resolve, and the burden I cannot carry by myself. I surrender them to your care. Fear may have spoken first on other mornings. It may have shaped my expectations before I remembered your nearness. But this morning, trust will answer. Fear may be present, but it will not receive final authority. I resist panic. I reject the repeated rehearsal of everything that could go wrong. I refuse to let fear become the commander of this day. It will not determine what I believe, how I interpret every circumstance, or how I take my next step. I receive the peace God gives in His presence. I receive wisdom for what belongs to me and grace for what does not. I trust that God will remain near, guide me with patience, and sustain me in whatever this day contains. I do not demand a particular outcome as proof of His care. I choose dependence over control, truth over fearful imagination, and faithful responsibility over panic or passivity. The action before me belongs beneath God's peace. I will take the next faithful step with humility. I will listen. I will remain teachable. I will return to God when my attention wanders and when pressure rises again. My mouth has confessed trust. Now, Lord, I place the whole burden before you.
Receive my fear, receive my willing step, and draw me deeper into prayer. Father, before we ask you for anything, we thank you. Thank you for the life you have given us this morning, for mercy that meets us before we have earned it, and for the freedom to come near without disguise. Thank you that your presence is available before the first demand, and remains available after the quiet has passed. Thank you for shelter, for access, and for the invitation to dwell with you. You have received us with our questions, our weakness, and our unfinished faith. You are our refuge. Forgive us for the times we allow notifications to summon us before prayer, imagined outcomes to occupy us before truth, and urgency to determine our pace before wisdom. Forgive us for leaning upon our own understanding, as though everything depended upon our ability to predict and manage it. We confess this without hiding and without condemning ourselves. Your mercy does not shame us into nearness. It welcomes us back. Teach us to turn to you sooner, to listen before reacting, and to depend upon you without neglecting what you have placed in our hands. Lord, we surrender the specific fear we have named. You know what is true about it. You know what we understand and what we cannot yet see. You know the outcome we desire, the outcome we dread, and every uncertainty between them. We place before you what can be addressed today, and we release what remains outside our control. We will not use prayer to deny the difficulty. We ask instead for grace to face it with you. Guard our minds from fearful conclusions and our bodies from the strain of carrying tomorrow before it arrives. Guard our homes and those we love. Guard us in our work, in our travel, in every conversation, responsibility and decision. Guard us from dangers we recognize and from hazards we may overlook. And guard us inwardly from impatience, distraction, pride, panic, avoidable conflict, and the impulse to move before wisdom becomes clear. Calm the thoughts that race ahead. Calm the inner demand to answer everything immediately. Calm our speech when tension rises and our reactions when plans change. Let calm make us attentive, not passive, steady, not careless. Help us notice what deserves concern without allowing concern to become our master. Guide us toward what requires attention. Guide us away from reckless choices and unnecessary strife. Guide our timing, our words, and our use of the resources you have provided. If we need counsel, make us humble enough to seek it. If we need to act, make us courageous enough to obey. If we need to wait, give us restraint without avoidance. If we need to change direction, keep pride from holding us to an unwise course. Give us discernment to separate fact from fearful assumption. Give us courage to do what is right when comfort pulls us elsewhere. Give us patience when clarity comes slowly. Give us honesty about our limits, compassion toward the burdens of others, and peace to release what no effort of ours can secure. Give us practical wisdom for the willing step already placed before you. We reject fear's claim to govern our imagination, our speech, our timing, or our decisions. Fear may alert us to examine something, but it will not become the highest authority by which we interpret everything. Let truth govern our responses. Let love shape our words. Let wisdom direct our movement.
Let your presence steady us when pressure attempts to hurry us away from prayer. You are the refuge we choose. We will return to you when the day becomes loud, when attention scatters, and when uncertainty rises again. We will pray before allowing panic to decide. We will seek wisdom before acting merely to escape discomfort. We will take responsible action while entrusting the result to you. And Father, we pray beyond ourselves.
Draw near to those beginning demanding days, those traveling with concern, those caring for their families while carrying needs of their own, and those entering circumstances they cannot predict. Remember those whose burdens are hidden and whose strength feels small. Grant them shelter without isolation, help without shame, clear counsel, faithful companions, and courage sufficient for the duty before them. As we move from this quiet place, keep us dwelling in the shelter of the Most High and abiding under the shadow of the Almighty. May we walk into responsibility without walking away from your presence. We receive peace for this moment. We entrust every outcome to you. Give us grace now to take the next faithful step, calmly, humbly, and with you. Amen. Now rise in the peace you have received. The notifications may still be waiting. The responsibilities have not disappeared. But they no longer have to receive your heart's first allegiance. Before the demands could define this morning, you chose God as your refuge. And if calm must be renewed later, return without shame. Returning is not failure, it is faithfulness. When pressure rises, pause again. Remember where you dwell. Name what is troubling you. Surrender what you cannot control. Listen for wisdom, then act with peace. Take the step already placed before you. Make the careful decision. Begin the needed task. Prepare for the journey. Seek counsel if understanding is incomplete. Offer the apology that truth and love require. Or wait, if rushing would only serve fear. Let your first wise action become a continuation of this prayer. Carry this pattern with you. Dwell, name, surrender, listen, and act wisely. You do not need command over every outcome to move forward. You need the presence of God, a heart willing to trust, and courage for the responsibility that belongs to this moment. May the peace of God steady you. May His covering keep you attentive and secure. May clarity guide your choices, and may courage strengthen your obedience. Together, we enter this day with God as our refuge and the next faithful step before us. Go in peace.